Hey, geometry, welcome back. You guys have a quiz on Friday, quiz 48. It is over 6.7 to 6.8, I think, if I remember right. Okay, so let's go over a couple of questions to help you for that. We have 4 questions here. There's a 5th one we'll put up in our next segment. I'm going to give you some information in the quiz, and that's what I kind of have written over here. These would be like your statements, your questions, and you got to know formulas. So I wrote my formulas first. You need to have these memorized for tomorrow. I can't do it without formulas. So the first question is going to give you a radius, ask you for an area. So we're just going to plug it into the pi r squared formula. So pi times 4 squared. And let's round everything today to the 100th place. Check your quiz tomorrow to see what you should be going to. And I'm going to get 50.27, and always put the right unit. Square, in this case, I didn't say if it's inches or feet or whatever, so I'll just put square units. You put the right one on yours. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one says the area is 16 pi. That means we're going to be asked to find the diameter. So let's write this one out as 16 pi equals 1/4 pi d squared. Okay, so that's our problem at that point. Now, again, think this through. This one said, please find the, it'll say, please find the diameter. So you got to remember to get the right formula. So this one said, find the area of a circle given the radius. This formula. Find the diameter given the area. This formula. You got to kind of have those put together there to understand which is which. But let's go ahead and solve that. To start with, maybe I'll divide by pi. Get those out of there. Those are going to cancel. Then it'll say 16 equals 1/4 d squared. I'm going to multiply by 4. Okay, we're going to head over this way. Multiplying by 4, let me just do it so I don't make a mistake. 64 equals d squared. Take a square root. Diameter would equal plus or minus 8, but I'm only going to keep the plus in that case because it's a diameter. I put inches, I should have put units, sorry, but that'll be whatever it is on the quiz, okay? Good, okay, let's go to the next one. Next one's going to say, hey, you've got a 60-degree arc, you've got a radius of 5, let's find the area of that sector. Okay, so we're going to have area of a sector over area of a circle equals theta over 360. So I'm just going to plug in what I know. First off, I know this 5 is going to correlate to my area of a circle. So what I'm going to do, area of a sector is what I'm looking for. I'm making that x. Area of a circle, going back up here, pi r squared. 5 is my radius. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 25 pi. Do you see where that comes from? R squared, that's 25. And then the pi, so I'm just putting that in 25 pi, okay? And then equals, I'm going to put my 60 degrees over 360 degrees, okay? And then right off the bat, I'm canceling those zeros. I'm reducing this to a 1 and this to a 6. It's going to make life easier. I'm going to cross multiply here, and this is going to be 6x equals 25 pi. I'm going to divide by 6 to be able to get an answer. 13 point, we're going to go, it says 0.89, so 0.09. This number is an area of a sector, so we're going to go square units, okay? That'll be the answer for that problem. Let's go to our number 4 question. A little more involved here for this one, but we're going to say, well, here's what you're going to know. You're going to know you have a circumference of 8 pi, and you need to find the area of the circle, all right? So circumference formula here first, what I'm going to say is, all right, 8 pi equals 2 pi r. That's my circumference formula. Well, that'll allow me to be able to find my r. If I divide by 2 pi, pi's will cancel. This reduces down to a 4. So that means my radius is 4. Now this just conveniently, you might not do this on your quiz tomorrow, but bumps me right back up to my first question. The radius is 4 here. Radius was 4 in my first question. Here's the same formula to find the area of the circle, so it's the exact same answer, 50.27. Okay, in our next segment, we'll put up one more question for you. Here's the last question, question 5. Let's take a look at this, a little more involved here. All right, we got a circle, we got a 120-degree angle in there. We got 2 3-inch radiuses that are marked, and the question is going to be, can you find the area of the segment? I always think about it like a piece of pizza. The crust is the segment. The sector is the whole piece of pizza. So if that helps you think about that, this last question will ask you for the crust, the segment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the area first of the sector, the whole thing, and then we're going to take away the area of the triangle, and that'll give us the sector. That's essentially the way this problem works. So here's what we'll do. We're going to say x over the area of the whole circle. Well, radius is 3, so that's 9 pi, all right? Equals, and then it's going to be 120 over 360. Now, 120 over 360, that just reduces to 1/3. So now we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. 3x equals 9 pi. And x, or the area of the sector, equals 3 pi. So let's find the area of the triangle. Area equals 1/2 base times height. I don't have any of those things. I don't have a height or a base. Watch this though. If I take out this 120, I'll just write it over here so we don't forget it, and draw in the altitude at a 90-degree angle. With an isosceles triangle and an altitude, we've learned earlier in the year that when that happens, it cuts this line directly in half. If those lines are equal, then these angles have to be equal. So this has to be a 60 and a 60, which means these have to be 30s over here. So that means we have a 30, 60, 90, and the hypotenuse is 3. That makes this whole problem solvable. The altitude now, the height, is 1.5, half of 3. Then the long leg, which is half of the base, is going to be 1.5 times square root of 3. That means this one is also 1.5 times square root of 3. Okay, so now I have all the numbers I need to be able to put into the triangle formula. All I'm going to say is 1/2 times, and I'm going to put in my 1.5 times square root of 3 and my other 1.5 times square root of 3, or in a sense, 2 times 1.5 square root of 3, and then times the height, which is 1.5. Now the 2 and the 1/2, those will cancel, so it's just going to be 1.5 square root of 3 times 1.5. Okay, just put that in your calculator and let the calculator do the work right there. So I've got 3.897 ... don't round yet. That's the triangle. This is the whole piece of pizza, the whole sector. I just want the crust, I want the segment. I'm going to take this 3 pi minus the triangle, and I'll get the answer. Got to watch how you do this in your calculator, okay? Here's what I would do. On my screen, it says 3.89, that whole piece right there, okay? I'm going to get 3 pi in and take away that. So here's how you do it. Do an open parentheses, 3 times pi, close parentheses, minus, and then shift answer. If I went too fast on any of that, just pause, rewind, watch it again. I'm getting equals, and I'm getting 5.5, and I'm going to round to the hundreds. It says 2.7, so I'm going to go 3. This is area, so square inches. And that would be my area of the pizza crust, okay? Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, we've got a Zoom call that we're getting ready to do. It's going to be tomorrow, Friday, 1 o'clock. That'll help us get ready for the test on Monday.